Tim Whitaker.
Just check them off on this, and then you can do it that way.
All right. So why don't we just do a roll call down the line? Tim, you want to start us off?
Tim Whitaker?
Pat Halpin.
Neil Peterson.
Raj.
Bill Chase.
And that is 5, and that establishes quorum. Moving to item number 3, community input. I see no members of the community present today. So I will move on to agenda item 4, review the committee composition and welcome of new members. The only new member we have here today is Raj. Welcome.
I'm planning board representative.
So Raj is replacing Kevin as the planning board rep. I know Brenda had reached out. I think she may no longer be able to participate, so I think we will likely need a new housing authority member, and I believe also
She's open space too.
she's open space as well. All right, we have to update, so make a note because it's later on that we've got to update.
Here, this is the,
Is this up to date? Okay, and Bev is also no longer
right, she. Bev
representing the
Goodale.
historical commission, so, yes, I'm sorry. Bev Goodale, is no longer the representative from the historical commission, and I believe Brenda Bowman will be stepping down as representative from housing authority, so we may have 2 additional new members on top of Raj.
So nobody from the historic commission?
Currently, no.
No.
Did Bev ever mention who was gonna take her place from the
No.
historical commission?
No,
There may be some members, right? I think there are members. Anyway.
Yeah,
well, I saw the list, there's a Bob O'Connell that's on the list, I didn't recognize the name.
oh, you know what, hang on.
It should be there on the town house.
He's on a lot of lists.
Oh, Bob is on every single committee. But he does a good job.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he has the time and he has the energy. So. Historic Commission. Oop, Nancy
When you were out of the
Baskarian,
room, I mentioned that
Barakian,
it would be important for the historical
Sandra
commission
Carlson.
to be active and to use their portion of the money to survey the town, either have an intern from Worcester Tech or pay for us to identify the historical sites that we are worth saving.
Bob is on the board, Historic Commission, Bob O'Connell.
Yes, I
He could be a,
the representative for CPC.
yeah, he could be better, okay. I don't think so, Sandra Carlson, I'm not sure, do you know her?
I don't.
Is Bob,
Carlson?
Bob's a worker bee, right?
Yeah, he can, yes,
definitely.
he can.
Not to sit around everybody.
No, he is very good.
No, it was not Bob that reached out, it was someone from Cemetery Trust that reached out.
Oh,
Okay, so we need to find out who our appointee is from the Historical Commission and the Housing Authority.
and I think you could make recommendations to Heather, that would be my point.
Okay,
And so I know she's very interested in open space and the open space plan, and
Heather is,
Heather is.
okay.
So we need someone responsible and connected in that position.
I'm gonna start my to-do list right now.
Well, actually, I sit in open space. What am I talking about?
Tim, would you like a seltzer or anything?
Oh, also, thank you. It's a lot before I came on. Pat, you're saying
Yeah,
that we don't,
I'm in
there's no
open
list
space.
I beg your pardon?
you're saying there's no list of historical landmarks?
No, I re-
There is one.
I don't know if you can
They
represent two.
showed me one the other day. I
I'd rather
wonder
have
if
the
it's on the
body.
website.
Get rid of the work.
Okay, so does anyone know, so we said Bob O'Connell might be a good,
He is very good. If you approach him, definitely he will say
Okay.
yes.
And then how about housing authority? Do we know?
Can you put housing, is it Mark is on
I
housing?
know he doesn't have time, but the
Mark?
person I would like to,
Mark Frieda?
no, he's not on the housing authority.
No?
But who's on the housing authority
Bobby.
is Chris Berglund,
Yeah,
and he is superb.
Yeah, he is, but I don't know whether he will.
Whether he has,
want to.
Let me,
has any time.
Yeah, he
I
has
might
any
be
time.
able to put the squeeze on him.
Let's do that, I could do
Housing
it too.
authority.
Okay.
He would be
Mark Seppi,
wonderful, and with the
Patricia
finance committee,
Yeah, Chris is
and
great.
he's on the Affordable Housing
Chris is,
Trust.
Chris is
and-
rock solid.
They-
Okay,
They do need more people, one vacancy there.
Okay, that'd be great.
all right, so, and do we know who else is, as a backup plan? Looks like there's only two other members beside Chris and Brenda, and they have a vacancy. So Marcia Cairns
I
and
would-
Patricia Boucher.
Patricia,
Nice, no, but no,
Okay. All right.
I don't mean to be,
No, it's, we need candor. So if we want someone who's going to be,
Marcia's great on the Affordable Housing Trust and great on the Housing Authority,
okay,
but
all right. I've got my notes. So, well, welcome, Raj. Look forward to having you on board. And, have you been on the CPC before?
No.
No?
This is
Okay.
the first time.
Is this the one board?
No, I don't want to be on this, but I want to be on this. This
Great.
time, I want to be on that.
So, I'm gonna move to, unless there's further input, I'm ready to move to agenda item 5, which is, the, appointment of the chair for the upcoming year. Does anyone have any interest in, nominating himself as chair? You're all gonna have to speak at once, please.
Not me.
don't be shy.
Would it, I realize we have a quorum, but could it make sense for us to, I know, and I know, Neil, that we talked
So
about.
the next meeting is going to be the last meeting, right? CPC.
If we have at least a couple more members, we're gonna be joining, the committee.
So we can
But then
always
we do-
reorganize too.
New, I'm just saying, I mean.
Well, you have 6 months under your belt.
Yeah, a whole 6 months, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I mean, so we're missing,
2 members.
where's that current, it's right here.
You can keep that.
So Jason and Steve, and that's it in terms of current sitting members who might have input. I don't wanna speak for Steve, I don't see him throwing his hat into the ring,
no, he doesn't want to do it.
and you probably have a better
Yeah,
take on Jason's temperature for his appetite.
He's never mentioned an interest to me.
Yeah.
And we've discussed the fact there would be
Yeah.
a vacancy. So I don't, I mean, I can text him, I don't think he's interested.
If not, why don't we put it for the next meeting?
We could,
Can
I
we
mean,
table it to the next meeting?
we could, I think, Tim, I think it's just gonna be one of the two of us, and whoever wants to dive on the grenade. I've voiced at the last meeting, and I voiced to you privately, my preference to step down for a year and just, take a little load off, while still pledging steadfast support, from a logistical standpoint, from a research standpoint, from a whatever, input you would be looking for. I don't wanna put pressure on you to do it if you're not
No,
ready
no.
to take it on yet.
We've talked about this, and I think, my concern initially was that you might be stepping away from the commission altogether, the committee altogether. And if that's not the case, I would volunteer to be the chair for a year. Again, supported by you and others here, I think that I'd be happy to help out in that way. I think we had some good momentum going toward the middle of the year, to the end of the year, and I think, it'd be nice to see some of those changes, come together, to the benefit of everyone who needs to work through the committee in the future, so. Happy to throw my name in if, unless someone else wants to run against me, and then we'll see. I'll vote on
Do you
it.
want to be?
I'm already chair,
Pat?
half a dozen, give me a break.
I remain steadfastly committed to seeing through what we've talked about, in any capacity, whether it's chair or wind in your sails, whatever you need.
I'm gonna hold you to it. I
Yeah,
know where
that's
you
fine.
live. We've
That's
discussed this a couple times, so
Yeah.
that's fine for me. Yeah, so I will, what do I need to?
I nominate Tim as chair for the upcoming year.
Second it.
All right.
All in
Any
favor?
discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. All right, I believe we have it unanimous. Congratulations, Tim.
Okay.
It's great to see young people stepping up to the plate and assuming
Heavy
leadership.
is the head that wears the crown, buddy.
Oh, I know, I've got a chance to see some of that.
Neil could resign tomorrow.
Especially,
All right, well, so you want me to I'll run the rest of the meeting and then we'll.
Yeah, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
I'll,
yeah.
I'll set the agenda next time and I'll run.
Perfect.
If you don't mind.
Okay, so, that takes us to item number 6, status of CPC secretary job posting. The status of the job posting is that it is in limbo. The job posting, Pat, I saw your eyes thinking that you might have more time as clerk.
I'm gonna go for your throat.
So here's the issue, and I think you're aware of this, that the funds for hiring a secretary were approved at the last town meeting. I think we're all aware of the controversy surrounding the override at the last town meeting. The job posting went live literally the day after that town meeting, which created some backlash directed at the town on all of our favorite social media platforms. The town administrator, in her discretion over my objection, opted to remove the job posting. To my knowledge, it has not gone back up. And the basis was there was a great controversy in the town over having to pass an override because the town was short in its budget, and it seemed imprudent to then announce the town was looking to hire. Obviously, contextually, hiring a part-time note taker for one meeting at most a month for an hour per month,
Maybe not
meaning-
even once a month.
meaning no disrespect to our shining volunteer here tonight.
Right.
I can't imagine would have been a huge drain on the town's coffers. That notwithstanding, there were optics, politics, it still needed to pass the town vote, so that was why we don't have a posting.
Now, excuse me, Fay said the other day that they had posted it and there were no applicants. And so then,
They had posted it, that much is true. I don't know how long it stayed active.
well, she was reassuring me because I was on the ledge and about to jump. And they were having a luncheon here, and Toby was here. And so Fay had Toby go up and fill out an application, which was brought back the next day, last Friday.
So thank you, Toby. And I hope that we can continue to rely on your steadfast services. We will try to keep the administrative burden as light as possible.
Okay. Here is the job openings in the town website. I think that's what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Secretary, Community Preservation.
Oh,
job-
it's back up. Okay, fantastic.
It's on the town website.
Okay.
I think that's what she's referring.
Okay,
Okay.
It's
fantastic.
there.
So, Toby, I mean, I think we've found the person for the job as long as you'll have us. So we'll leave it to you. But I know we have the money for the position. So,
I mean, I guess it just depends on how often the meetings are, because I'm with two other boards already.
yeah, understood.
And, so.
But I'm chair on both those boards, so don't worry about it.
We can schedule around.
I bring my own help.
Yeah, so I, from my experience, I've been on the committee for a year. I think we've met in that year 4 or 5 times.
Say 5 times.
most, and.
They don't even do once a month.
And the meetings are, depending on what's on the docket, you know, an hour, you know, one of the meetings was a presentation by the Community Preservation Coalition, so there was no act, I mean, we opened the meeting, end of minutes. So I think we really only have meetings when we feel there's a need for actual deliberation on a topic, which usually follows receipt of an application. You know, in full disclosure, one of the initiatives we had been working on that we'll talk about is trying to revamp the community preservation plan to make it more user-friendly, at least what's the publicly facing component of it, as well as formalize the application submission and evaluation process. Now, I don't think that there's gonna be a lot of heavy lifting from the secretary to do that, but there may be some clerical stuff associated with it. That is, and then obviously meetings to sit down, review those changes and approve them. Outside of applications, outside of those meetings, outside of something that pops up, and there's one other item I'll cover that I see on our horizon, you know, the meetings are not regularly scheduled.
And we will,
And we're not gonna hold you to whatever you say now, so you could say, sure, sign me up, and then tell us a week from now, go pound sand, and
Well,
no
that's
one
what I
hold it
was
against
kind
you.
of wondering if I could just kind of say, you know, I'll do this, but if I find that I can't, because between the other boards, my husband just retired, and,
He retired 2 years ago, come on.
well, this is
He
like
plays
really
golf.
retired.
Don't bother him, just leave him alone.
but we will arrange for the meetings to be recorded. And so
She tapes everything anyway.
you can take the minutes from the recording, as long as someone doesn't erase them. But,
I'll do them with you on Sunday morning, how's that?
Yeah, we'll do those and the.
Do the other one too,
ones.
then no-
that should be a help.
That will be
I mean, it's just really paperwork that I'm
Well,
thinking more
I'm
about.
content, from my perspective, which is no longer the chair's perspective, I'm content just leaving it meeting to meeting basis, and we'll leave the job posting out there as long as you don't take umbrage with the fact that there's an active job posting out there, and, if someone someone wants the job, we'll have to review their application and decide whether to hire them, and in the meantime, we'll check with you and see if you're still interested in continuing.
Okay, that sounds,
That work?
yeah, that sounds good.
Terrific.
Good.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments on the job posting issue? So let's move to item number 7, discussion and vote on the application from the Affordable Housing Trust that was timely submitted, notice of which was duly sent to the chair of this committee, who was derelict in his responsibility of checking his Gmail account.
Note,
Oh, there's the
posted the
date.
town clerk June 13th. It has spent the summer in the Community Preservation Committee box, because by all 10 of them, but by our rules, it's supposed to be 60 days before the town meeting. And so that gives everyone time to research. And the second thing is that, you need 10 hard copies in the box, just saying.
So,
Anyway.
is there a representative from the Affordable Housing Trust here that can present the application?
Amen. So here it is in front of you. You have it in your
Yeah.
thing. Typically, the charge to the Affordable Housing Trust is to monitor the existing housing inventory. And that we do through a professional group called, at this point, LVS, Lynn Sweet Consultants. And also, the other thing is to hopefully someday create housing for seniors as called for by, excuse me, the 2017 housing needs assessment, and also our housing production plan. Right now, by statute, we are to update the housing production plan. So we are in the process of issuing an RFP, which, like our application for Toby, got lost in the town administrator shuffle of October.
Mhm.
And so, but the RFP is being created, but they become very expensive. In the past, we used the Regional Environmental Council people, and we found another agency more helpful. And so we are putting that out for bid, but that's about $50,000. So, that we need, we're just asking for the $25,000 that is allotted by statute to the housing division of the CPA. And with your approval, it's on the back.
And this was, I think we had a similar application last year around this time, right?
Yes, the only thing different is the date.
There is one correction. It's not John Morrissey, James Morrissey.
What did he say?
James
James,
Morrissey.
you've got John Morrissey.
Okay, it's James
It's
Morrissey.
James Morrissey.
It's too bad.
Too bad, you made a big mistake.
Do we have a statement on how much money we actually have?
Gonna create another one of these things and kill some more trees? No, we just,
Oh, no, I'm just,
no, we don't have to, this is fine, and
I
Jason.
think this is a standard you ask every year, right?
Yes.
25,000, yes.
Anyway,
25,000,
25,000.
yeah, that's a lot of money, Toby.
so, what is your pleasure?
Well, any,
Except that change,
Questions?
I would like to make that change, John to James, and then I make a motion to approve that.
John's name to James.
Request.
yeah, does anyone have any questions before we, entertain the motion?
Just like to kind of read over it a bit, I'm trying to understand, so it's a grant, to monitor and preserve. I'm trying to understand what we're preserving here, so it's,
So my understanding, Ken,
what are the
it's helpful.
activities? Oh,
My understanding, this is from last year, the presentation from last year as well. So every year, we can allocate up to $25,000 to the AHT specifically,
okay,
okay? They use those funds for conducting feasibility studies, hiring professionals to advise them on making, changes, updates, improvements to our housing production plan, yes?
Among other things.
Among other things. For purposes, so the Affordable Housing Trust advises the town on how best to shape its policy towards promoting and fostering the development of affordable housing in town. You're familiar with the 40B and the mandate from the state that we have to provide a certain quotient of affordable housing in town.
yes,
So the AHT serves as sort of stewards for the plan that the town adopts to promote what it views as its objectives in hitting our what's the quota of affordable housing units. And so that, because we have an affordable housing plan in place, it allows the Affordable Housing Trust to weigh in on applications for local initiative plans presented by developers looking to build affordable housing, which is a key tool in our toolbox for working with developers to try to shape those developments to best suit what we've already said in this plan represent our goals. And so the money that we're giving them is for them to continually reassess what the goals are and whether the affordable housing plan and the housing production plan comport with those goals. Is that a fair?
That's fair. Bill,
to summarize it, you're gonna be proactive versus reactive.
Thank you.
amen.
Long and short of it.
So,
Brevity's not my strong suit.
Well done. And-
I know you're a lawyer, I can tell. I'm an engineer.
And we
Sorry.
are,
I appreciate it, believe me.
but we're required by law to do the subsidized housing inventory every year and
And,
submit it to the,
Not only that, you do monitor, say if we have the 40B houses, whether it is a local initiative or some developer comes in with a 40B. So the 40B has to keep it as a 40B. No, but sometimes the people leave the house and then they will rent it. So that, they will pick it on and then they can go after them, right? One of those things are fraudulent.
But they also stay up to date on maintenance, and all that type of stuff, so we know where we're at. They change the laws almost every single year in the building, so we know whether our building codes are up to par.
Yeah.
Versus getting whacked one time, because we're 2-3 years behind.
And also they monitor how many SHI units are we up to the threshold or beyond the threshold,
Get that, okay.
and they do give us some idea to the zoning board of appeals.
So from my perspective, promotion of affordable housing is one of the core goals of the community preservation plan. The Affordable Housing Trust, just by its very existence, I think, does exactly that. And I've seen firsthand how they've done it very effectively. And so, from my perspective, funding the Affordable Housing Trust, even generally, promotes the affordable housing goals under the community preservation plan. So I think it's consistent with the plan. I think the funds for the affordable, I think the existence of the Affordable Housing Trust as a goal is an eligible goal, an eligible project under the plan. Padding their coffers to give them the flexibility they need to undertake their efforts, I think, is consistent with the plan. They, from my understanding, can't spend that money unless it is for the affordable housing
And then
objectives.
there's a record of how it's spent, I'm assuming? There's a record?
oh
of-
yes,
okay.
look, everything's through. The town administrator approves anything and we sign it and then goes through Leslie,
And they use the full 25,000 every year, it's,
pardon me?
they use you use the full $25,000?
No, not always.
So, okay, so,
So that was, because we haven't, we're allowed, we can now afford a $50,000
I see.
RFP.
Study or, you
There
know,
is a one separate funding revolving, some account number separate for affordable housing.
See, you know, it allows us to be nimble, and if land comes up that needs to have an engineering study, we have the monies stockpiled, we don't have to wait for another town meeting.
He's thinking of the military, use it or lose it.
Yeah. Okay.
well, I think, you know, if I'm intuiting that your line of questioning is just, we've talked about the need to be more vigilant in assessing each application for how it complies with the goals, you know, evaluate it in the same way. I think that's just what you're doing, if that's.
Part of it, yeah, I mean, part of it is, I wanna understand, this is the first time I'm seeing this, and
Yeah,
so,
sure.
you know, I think that everything you've described, all of you have described, it makes sense, this is something that we would obviously wanna, but it's hard for me to look at something in 5 minutes in, sort of authorize an up or down vote on it. It's only $25,000 and it's a grant, and as you've said, it's not money that you,
And also, you know, this one, as long as I'm on this town, on other boards, this is one of those annual ask from the Affordable Housing Trust. And it's been, the town voted yes for this thing.
yeah.
And also if they have to function, they do need the money.
I see, no, it's, what's different from this, between this and the other applications that we saw, in the last several months, is that this is something that sounds like a necessity, to meet with state mandates, and so, a state mandate specifically, so, I'm fine, I think I've heard enough to.
Any other questions? Okay, I have a motion on the floor to vote to recommend to the town for consideration and approval the Affordable Housing Trust application from June 13th, 2025. Do I have a second?
Second.
See what I did there.
Oh, who made the motion?
Raj made the
Raj made the
motion
motion, I
earlier.
made the
I
second.
tabled it for a moment just to make sure no one had any questions, but I think we've satisfied that. We have a second. All in favor of recommending,
Yes,
of sending the application to the town for the town's consideration and approval?
All right,
yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, unanimous.
So you will take that to Heather or Fay, put on the town warrant.
Yes, yep.
And if I.
No, I won't. The new chair will.
I will.
Okay, thanks, Tim. I have underneath this, through you, Mr. I took the liberty of reproducing Sue Saginaur's grid. You have it in your file. And also the broad categories of this. I think we should have this with us at all times when you're looking at any.
Wonderful suggestion. We have an actual scorecard we should be using.
You're right.
That's part of the discussion that's coming up in agenda number
But if
12. But yes, that presentation I thought was excellent. I think, we're jumping out of order, but my last time I get to exercise that prerogative. I think that presentation should help inform how we reconsider our scorecards, the evaluation process, et cetera. So, thank you. No, I think that it's a tremendous resource. Community Preservation Coalition is great. Okay. So item number 13, review of CPC landing page on town website, discussion of any required updates. So we sort of did this, Tim, before you arrived, and then we did it in the agenda item number.
Eight,
I'm sorry.
No.
No, just, number-wise,
item number 8.
did we skip?
You said 13.
I said 13.
It's a number
Pardon
8.
me. 8.
Oh,
8.
okay.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Toby.
That's what I thought too.
So when we discussed the community composition and new members, we were looking at the town website. So the landing page needs to be updated from my perspective to reflect the new membership. Raj is on there. It's noted there's a vacancy for, can't talk and type at the same time. There is a vacancy for Historical Commission, and they still have Brenda from Housing Authority. So we'll have to update those members.
With the recommendations.
I will convey our recommendations to Heather for her consideration. So it says on the landing page, so this was part of the all boards meeting that Heather has started to organize, which I think is great. One of the mandates she issued to the attendees was that they all, which was comprised of the chairs of the various boards, that they visit their landing pages and inform the town as to any updates that need to be made for contact information, member composition, etc. It says in italicized text right at the beginning, note, applications for funding must be filed by January 1 to be considered at the spring semi-annual town meeting, and by June 1
I missed it by 13
be considered
days.
for funding fall semi-annual town meeting. So, I'm just giving you.
We should take back the vote.
I'm sorry, what's that?
We can rescind the vote.
Yeah, well, no,
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 this
I
is
think we can waive failure to comply, but, I just wanted to, because I know that, we've had issues with being, confronted with applications just before the town meeting, and there was some confusion about whether 1 month's prior notice or 2 months prior notice was adequate. So are we comfortable with the January 1, June 1 timeline? So that, that provides what, roughly 4 months per application to be considered. From my perspective, we've talked about this at prior meetings, I think it would be really great if we communicated to the public an encouragement that before even submitting an application, it's highly recommended that you ask for a meeting with at least the chair, if not the entire committee, to let them know this application is coming, and that way you can solicit input on how to best package the application with the information, with the eligibility criteria identified, et cetera. So I'm raising the question, does it make sense to not only say application must be filed, but a complete application must be filed, so that we have highlighted that we reserve the right to not even consider an application if we deem it incomplete, submitted after January 1.
But actually, I do that already. I meet with everybody that comes for an application, prior to the application,
Yeah,
to make sure that it's gonna pass my board.
for
For Concom for one.
yeah, okay,
Because they come in, I'll have an NOI, an RDA, whatever they happen to be, and I'll go, that's not gonna pass the way you got it worded.
right, right,
And so we just go through it, this and that, and most of them have engineers, which is easy to talk to, and it's just, I need this, they present it,
But-
and then they bring it in and we're all set. So I think you should absolutely do that.
yeah,
But in
okay.
but in the previous year, whatever I heard, so it's been like, they do accept the last minute applications too.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you have to,
Yeah.
you have to, but I mean,
You
Makes
it
can,
difficult.
but you don't have to.
I know,
Right,
I know,
yeah.
I know, I know,
Yeah.
I know, I know.
So
I'm
you're
not,
saying-
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying, in the past,
Yeah,
it happened at a regularly,
when I get them in and I don't have, and they're incorrect for me, what I do is I just.
yeah, come on.
I mean, only if you're interested. We've got a quorum now, but we'd love to have your input if you're interested.
Yeah, what I do is I just table it and continue it to the next month. I tell them, I actually hold the interview right then and there.
Yeah,
We open the meeting, do the whole thing, this is what I need, you don't have it, do this, and I'm gonna continue this to the next meeting.
yeah,
I mean, that's
Yeah.
how I do it.
So there's a difference between requiring a completed application and initial discussion.
right.
I don't have a meeting, I don't have a quorum when I do it. I'll have myself and maybe one other person.
No, and I think that's, I would think that would happen in this context too. My only point for raising the completed application language is, I would like to preserve the ability to avoid being pressured to consider an incomplete application just because someone put a name on an application and a
Oh, no,
a
absolutely.
two-word sentence of
Just
what they're
table that
looking
and
for.
continue it, absolutely.
Right, so I would recommend that we, as part of our effort to update the page, we just add the word completed applications for funding must be filed, and then we have the discretion at that point to say, this isn't completed.
Right, and then tell them why.
We could still consider it,
Right.
but we're not obligated to consider it at this point, you know?
So
but
mine's a little more
but,
technical, I
don't
gotta
you think
have
we have
what I gotta
four-
have.
Yeah, right,
We have
right,
4 months' time. They could revise the
they can
application.
revise it,
bring
and
Yeah.
right,
Right.
right, so,
I'm all for it. I think that we found, in the last several months, that we need to put in place, I think, guardrails to prohibit us from having to vote on incomplete applications and people being pressured to try to think through and process something they've seen maybe for the first time or something that's not complete. Maybe they've heard some of it verbalized. And I think this is one of those things that we need to do to, or should do to, improve this process for everyone. It's, it's something that's more standardized, there's better transparency. And I think that what you recommended is what I would want to see added to the website.
Any other suggestions before I make a motion to vote on that change? And
I
then,
would rather see it in writing. I would like to see a draft of what you're talking about in the changes.
so, see right here,
Yeah,
in front of the word applications, completed. That's it.
That's it.
That's the only change I'm suggesting.
I think that's ideal, I think it's lovely, but we're dealing with the real world, and January to May is just things,
January for May town meeting.
pardon me?
January is for May town meeting.
Exactly.
Right.
And
June-
January to May
Yeah.
is 4 months. And I think preliminary, I would like, I'm trying to think it through, but preliminary conceptual idea about what you're talking, to have it down, to have a conversation with the chair of the committee with what you're planning on doing,
And when is the
and
completed
then 3
application?
months before.
So my only thought to that, Pat, is it's still perfectly within one's ability as a proposed applicant to submit an application after the January 1 deadline, or to submit an incomplete application prior to the January 1 deadline and be told it's incomplete and it needs work. To come back to us and say, I've provided all the information you require, is this sufficient, and do you have sufficient time to assess it and process it as part of a deliberation? And it would be perfectly fair for us at that point to say yes or no, because we've identified for the applicant that the completed application was due on January 1. And that we would have the basis to say, we are not going to hold a vote on this because the application that was submitted was not complete at the time it was required to be
What
complete.
he's doing is he's shifting the onus onto the applicant
Right.
versus us.
Yeah, but so
I
the
think-
thing is, Steve's point, or Steve may be thinking, what about the parks?
I think it's very useful, to your point, for us to, or could be useful for us to add as much information as we can about the fact that what we're doing here is giving ourselves the opportunity to, on a case-by-case basis, allow for applications from time to time that weren't completed before January 1st to be voted on in time for the May town meeting.
Yeah.
Again, I think completed works, but I'd like to see, and again, I'll take this on myself, some additional language.
You could do that?
The thing is,
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yep.
And,
I think we need
and
to.
in order to allow the committee to do the due diligence,
Yes, add some more language to it, again, so that people understand even more about sort of what
What's expected.
what this change means and what's expected of applicants.
how late is too late? That's the
I think
thing.
it depends on the application.
Yeah.
The
You know.
parks expect to have some type of an application in for the October town meeting for this woodland project. The engineer knows what we need and what we're looking for. He's gonna come back to us with some proposals and, we're hoping.
for October,
October, because we want to go out to bid. Then, over the winter, they made out very well doing that at Mixter. They saved a lot of money by doing it, because the contractors are trying to get their schedule set up for the spring. So
so Steve, what date was given to the consultant tonight that he's gonna have his plan done?
they're moving, they're gonna survey the place, they're gonna do core drillings, they're gonna come up with a plan on what will fit in there. They've got a lot of stuff that they've gotta do, but we are looking to go in October if we can do it.
So
Here
what are
we
you
go
gonna be
again.
looking for in October, funding
I have
wise?
no idea, because that's gonna depend on what he comes up with. I mean, we've got all kinds of things on this. Neil was upstairs listening to it, and there's a lot going on.
What is it, Yogi Berra, deja vu?
There's a lot of
all over
land
again?
in woodland that is not being
Not this time.
used.
That's correct.
See, Steve,
So we can expand the field. I think we can expand it.
Well, you've got wetlands there too, so you gotta be careful, but they're gonna know
Yeah,
that.
I
That's
know
no
that,
problem.
I know, but they'll take care of all that. They'll
Right.
come before you and all, you know,
Right.
they'll do whatever needs to be done, but,
so since April, when we had our big meeting that was, and now it is August 5th.
May town
What's
meeting
been going
tomorrow.
on?
Can
And-
I just interrupt for a second? We're just trying to keep us on agenda. I actually have as an agenda item, update on Woodland, which is coming up in 3 agenda items. So,
Okay.
so maybe we can table this discussion for then. And just revert back to the landing page. So does anyone have to wrap that discussion up?
Tim's gonna take care of it.
So the hover bubble idea was one to add to the notion that, that we had the word completed. We're gonna, the other, discussion item was updating the composition of this board, which is still TBD at the moment, but presuming when we get it, we can update it. Does anyone see any other updates to the landing page that they view as necessary at this time? Cause I'd like to do all of them in one vote.
I don't see any, but when you say TBD, what we're saying is we're gonna reflect that there,
We don't know.
Roger's already on the board. and
There
we
are
have-
two board members who come from other boards. There are two members of this
Understand.
committee that come from other boards. The two representatives that had been serving
Are stepping down, so.
have stepped down
So
or
we're saying
will
there
be,
are
yes.
vacancies.
Yep.
So I'm saying the fact that there's a vacancy, two vacancies will be reflected in the composition makeup, as opposed to, when you're saying TBD, I mean, it's not really TBD that there are vacancies, right? So we can
There is
actually-
one vacancy, so right
It's
now,
three,
the
right?
website lists for historical commission representative, vacancy one.
Okay, okay,
And for, housing authority, Brenda, who's no longer gonna be able to, serve on this committee.
right.
So we need to update both the vacancy one board member and Brenda as the representative from housing.
But Brenda would always say she was also open space. Because
I think
there's
she's both.
no open space.
It doesn't say on the landing page that open space has a representative on this committee.
Housing.
I'm on open space, so if you need one, I could do it.
Okay, good, all right.
So so let's do this, cause I'm trying to keep tabs on the, so I will investigate the community preservation plan and the bylaws to figure out whether it requires a representative from open space. If it does, we're set.
Right,
But I think among the other updates we've discussed, I'm gonna put into the motion that I'm gonna make momentarily, that if a CPC representative is required, the landing page reflect that, cause it doesn't currently.
Okay.
So that's all I have for now, I think, and we can table this other updates for a later time, like if we make updates to the plan, the link to the plan should be updated. If we make updates to the application form, the link to the application form should be updated. But for now, we haven't done that, so there's no need to discuss that from my perspective. Anything else that anyone recommends needs to be changed, before I put a motion on the table?
How about we all go home and reread the page on the website, and if there's any thoughts that come to mind, to notify Tim or yourself.
Terrific.
ASAP.
Yeah, we'll have to have another meeting to vote on making that change.
Right, but to incorporate.
But we can
anything.
make sure it gets on an agenda and it'd be, that would, and also bear in mind that this is a rolling process. So
Yeah.
this is not like a one bite at the apple and we can't ever make any changes to this thing, so,
But in the interim,
right.
updating the actual makeup of the committee and adding that, and I think inserting that word, I think is, at a minimum, is a right step.
So I move that we notify the town as to the following updates to the CPC landing page on the town website. Update number 1 is add the word completed before the word applications in the italicized note on the landing page. Update number 2 is an update regarding the composition of this committee, which, as of this date, is still to be determined. But when we are notified of the applicable representatives, their names will be updated on the landing page. Update number 3, if feasible, would be a hover bubble or similar interface that would provide additional information as to certain requirements that are articulated on the landing page. The content of those is TBD, depending on what's feasible. Those are the 3 changes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? No, so that passes unanimous. Toby, did I go slowly enough for you to get all those?
I think so.
Okay.
He's working hard over there.
All right, so that is number 8. Thank you for Director
I
Brendan.
have a question
Yes.
in terms of this. If we read over this, is there any benefit in including Stuart's language from these pages in the website?
So I think I think some of that is built into the plan and built into part of the plan that talks about eligibility criteria. I think it certainly merits us going back through
This is-
Stuart's
This
presentation.
is simpler and clearer.
That's what the revamping of the plan, at least insofar as the plan communicates to the public what the evaluation criteria are. I think that's where we should focus our efforts. I think the overarching goals articulated in the plan, from my perspective, are well articulated, and adequate. I think that the criteria that are articulated in the plan are good criteria, but to your point, I think maybe a little facelift would be beneficial to how it
It's
gets
just-
communicated to the
It's
public.
just very simple, you know.
Yep, agreed.
And we worked on that community preservation plan and stole it from Groton and other towns, as everybody always does that. But it could be simpler and clearer.
Yeah, and like I did for the prior meeting, I'll continue surveying other community preservation plan content and, articulation of processes so that we can maybe beg and borrow from some of them and really improve ours,
Okay, that's great.
okay? All right, so then agenda item number 9, review and approval of minutes from April 22nd, 25 meeting. Now, that was a typo on my part, because what Pat has for us is the April 6th meeting. We had a second meeting in
The
April
famous meeting.
on the 22nd, where we do actually have,
Notes.
we have notes that Pat is going to put into minutes that we can approve at the next meeting. If you recall, for those that were present for the April 22nd meeting, we didn't have a quorum. So we opened the meeting, determined we didn't have quorum,
And we did not have a
closed all
quorum
deliberation.
because of technological difficulties.
Right.
And 3 of us had to be on FaceTime,
Right,
and which is not
not,
legal.
right. So we don't have those minutes ready for review, but we will at the next meeting. But in the interim, with everyone's consent, I suggest that we review and approve the minutes from the April 6th meeting, which was what I intended to put on here, from what Pat had sent me. And you all have a copy of those in the package that Pat very graciously prepared for everybody. Steve, do you need a copy or do you have a
No,
copy?
I don't have a copy. of it.
It's in there.
Probably give you your.
Go on to the,
Maybe you didn't know.
here, I can share
Oh,
with
yeah.
Pat.
No, I got plenty.
Do you have it?
And then I got the stuff. here.
Sorry, you got the JIP one.
You got the JIP one.
So I just have a couple of edits that I spotted that are more cleanup in nature. The first is, I believe it's Jacqueline Leonardo, not Jacqueline Warren,
How do you spell it?
Leonardo.
Which one are you on, Neil?
This is the,
April 6th.
April 6th, yep.
Bill Chase is with an S.
An S and a C.
Listen, Pat, you're the only one that was doing it, so I'm not gonna criticize you. Just gonna help clean anything up that I can spot.
Here is a topo here to securing the secretary.
Okay, the other clerical point I'll make, Pat, is you have James Pedoni, Chair of Parks Commission, introduced 2 applications for funding. So I would clarify that application 1
Okay, got it.
was a request for 25,000 for purposes 1 and 2 that you've got in there. I think that's accurate.
Do I have to say for purposes?
No. I'm saying, because I'm setting up my next
Okay.
clarification. So I think through the end of page 1, we're good. That was the only other change I had.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't quite understand that about the, what that referred to.
My recommended change.
Right down, yeah, the
So-
last one.
So, there were 2 applications submitted. The first application encompassed both numbers 1 and 2 listed in Pat's minutes, but those were both part of the same application. There was a second application that covered a different request,
And it was from next to.
right,
I mean,
the Woodland, that gets addressed on page 2 of Pat's minutes, but is not introduced on page 2 of Pat's minutes. So I would just recommend
yeah.
that we introduce application 2,
That was Woodland Park.
was a request for, and Toby, I'll give you my handwritten notes here so that you have them.
Okay.
Request for 150,000, was it 150 or 125? 125, thank you. 125,000 for, and then I would have, subpart 1 and subpart 2, $25,000 feasibility study. And $100,000 for initial site work.
That's the engineering site work.
Yep.
That's the second application. And then that bottom paragraph, this field will be used by,
This field used relates to application 1. So I think so I would introduce application 2, you can follow along with what I've done here, Toby.
okay,
Application 2 comes before any content on page 2 of the minutes,
okay.
okay? And
Okay.
just note that application 2 was a request for $125,000 for, and just as Pat did here, Pat, I'll give this to you too.
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll grab it and I'll email it to you.
Don't give me so many emails.
Fair point. Touche. Subparts 1 and 2, part 1, 25,000 for the feasibility study, part 2, 100,000 for the initial site work. Then the rest of the minutes, lengthy discussion ensued, questions were raised, all of that relates to application 2. So now that we've introduced application 2 as a concept in these minutes, I think the rest of it flows.
Okay, but that last paragraph, that's what I was wondering about, and that's with application 1.
Correct,
First page, yeah.
correct.
Okay.
So, those were my comments. I don't recall what time we adjourned, other than it was late. But does anyone have a recollection of what time we concluded?
After a few hours.
I would just say after 8 PM, because I know it was after 8 PM. Does that work?
Yeah.
All right, so Toby, that's the last proposed change that I'm gonna put in the motion shortly, is that was voted unanimously to adjourn the meeting sometime after 8 PM.
Should be recorded too. It will be-
We lost the recording somehow.
Oh, you recorded?
Yes.
It was, yeah.
Don't even talk about that.
Conspiracy theories abound. Kidding. Okay. So, before I recap the proposed edits that I just offered, does anyone have other proposed edits? No. Okay. So I make a motion to approve these minutes as presented, subject to the following changes. Change number 1, Jacqueline Warren be changed to Jacqueline Leonardo. Change number 2, prior to the articulation of the request for 25,000 from the Parks Commission, a notation that was a request from application 1 be inserted. Change number 3, the following notation be introduced before the language beginning on page 2 with lengthy discussion ensued. The inserted language is as follows. Application 2, request for $125,000 for, number 1, $25,000 feasibility study, number 2.
Should that have a title? You know, it doesn't even say
I don't think you
woodland,
need to, because you didn't do it over here.
but it refers to mixture, doesn't it? Yeah,
Or not mixed with woodland.
Woodland.
so we should,
Yes, that's actually a good, that's a good suggestion, so bear with me, I'm gonna include this as part of my motion while I'm still going. Request for $125,000 for Woodland Park renovation as follows.
woodland park renovation. Okay,
Number 1, $125,000 for a feasibility study.
no, 25.
I'm sorry, $25,000, thank you, for a feasibility study. Number 2, $100,000 for initial site work. The last change is that we add, following the description of the motion to adjourn, the language sometime after 8 PM.
It seemed like midnight.
8 PM. Those are the changes that I am proposing as part of my motion to approve these minutes subject to those changes. Do I have a second?
Second.
That's a great.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
I will abstain. I do know this very well, but
Very well.
for the insanity, I will.
Toby, Raj has abstained, otherwise we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ayes, no nays. So the motion carries. Excellent work, Madam Clerk,
There you go.
for your swan song.
Well, you're retiring?
We've got Toby.
Toby, would you like my handwritten changes, or do you think you have it?
See, has
I mean, if I could copy them or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah, it would
please.
be helpful.
Would you mind, after you copy them, emailing them to Pat, so that she has them, if you're gonna rely on Pat to make the, I don't know who's gonna make the edits.
I'll change these, because I've got this in my computer.
Oh, okay, so, should I give this back?
If you feel you took adequate notes on the changes that we were making, I think for minute purposes, that should be sufficient, and Pat can have the
I'm just
actual.
gonna edit, add the edits, but his language
How about this?
needs to be in the minutes.
How about this? We give it to you, may I see it for a minute? The wonders of modern technology. You ready for this?
I think I got that stuff.
Hold on. I'm going to scan and send this to you right now.
Okay. It's like the never ending. This April 6th meeting is the cursed
It-
meeting.
And I don't think we're done with it yet. Okay.
I'm still thinking.
All right.
Oh, man.
Pat, they are headed your way as we
Okey-dokey.
speak. Toby, that is now yours. All right.
Oh, you don't need.
I'm all set, because I've got a scan, I've got it on my phone, Pat's got it in her inbox.
Okay.
Okay, so next item on the agenda, is this mine or is that your agenda? Did I lose? Nope, it's my, yes, this is my agenda. Number 10, discussion of status of CPC funds earmarked for restoration of markers in historic section. So, this was an inquiry made, I'm forgetting the individual's name, that is absolute news to me, and I was hoping someone might be able to fill me in on the details. But apparently, some time ago, there were funds approved by the CPC twice, fantastic, to restore historical markers in the historical district.
I like to read,
The cemetery.
Cemetery.
Okay. Does anyone know what became of those funds? Are they still,
Spent.
they were spent?
Beth Goodale would be able to, I don't think there
Is
was
it-
any, I don't know whether there was anything left over, but,
They did a good renovation, the cemetery, that small building. Is that the one?
no, that's a
No,
different
you're talking
one.
to Marcus.
That was the
Oh.
chimney and all that they did.
Yeah, that was a separate thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this was, sorry, it was Catherine Callahan, who's the new cemetery trustee,
Oh.
asked, are you able to tell me if all the CPC funds earmarked to clean and restore the markers in the historic section have been expended? So I think the consensus is the answer is yes.
The person that can answer that is Leslie.
Leslie, right,
Okay,
correct.
If I had the sheets, I could answer
All right, I will let
You-
Catherine
You
know.
have the latest sheets on the CPC?
Yes, yes,
Should be on
it should be on there, okay.
She's so,
So if there is any remaining funds, it should be there in that fund.
Correct.
Okay, so that resolves item number 10. Item number 11, now, we can go back to our woodland discussion. So, Steve, you started giving us an update. It sounds, so how much, so can I ask, before we get into the impending request that you think is coming down the pike, how much has been spent of the 125,000 thus far?
I have no idea, we just started with the engineer. I don't even think he's submitted a bill yet.
Okay, what has he done?
He went to the site, and they do an aerial thing of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do the surveying probably next week, maybe the end of this week, next week, to get the boundaries. They're also gonna do some soil testing to see what we got underneath there, whether it can be reused or whether it's gonna be taken out. So, he's got a volunteer from, where she went, some college in Boston, that's working with them from, beginning of the summer till the end. It's like a summer help type thing. But, he's gonna get back to us once he is able to put something together. I don't know when that's gonna be. That's,
The design that was up there that he had,
that is an old blueprint that was done in 1999, and for what reason, I can't tell you,
okay,
but
so what was
It's
the
not-
purpose that was serving for the meeting?
it was a blueprint of what we were talking about, what the Parks Commissioners were talking about doing in 1999 with Woodland Field. This has been something that's been passed along between the different Parks Commissioners,
Okay,
so,
was that incorporated into the master plan, do you know?
no,
Okay,
no, that was something that, I don't know where he got it from. He
okay,
may have done it in 1999.
the gentleman that was presenting,
It's
what
Dave
was his
Warner,
name?
Dave Warner.
Dave Warner, okay.
Yeah.
And, so is that design informing the feasibility study? In other words, is Dave going to see whether that design is feasible at the site?
What they've got to do is they got to make sure that what's on that, what thing he had on the board is what we have in Woodland. That's what he's gotta do. Then the only way they can do that is to survey it.
Why does it matter whether
Because the field,
hypothetical
the
design?
field that was on there, if you looked at it, there was a field on there.
Yeah,
That field will not fit on Woodland the way it is right now.
because that field never existed on Woodland, right?
It
Or was that
It
a,
does exist, but it's not the same size, it's smaller.
so that was a plan for Woodland that was intended to be adopted, and we did a
Like we're doing
version
right
of
now,
it.
like we're doing right now,
We did a version of it, which is the current
Yeah.
iteration of Woodland.
but
But
it's
Not to
It's
scale,
not what
it's
we're
not the
looking for,
same.
he's gonna come back with one that is what we're looking for.
His marching orders were to maximize the usage of the land.
Yeah,
But where did we assess that 1995 plan achieves that goal?
I think it was originally set up for like Little League or something like that.
no, it basically is what we have there now, but it's not really the scale.
Did they, can I ask you, maybe, I'm not,
And that's
It's
really got nothing to
1995.
do with the project anyways, because we gotta wait for him to come back with the actual figures.
right,
And then we're gonna sit down and say, okay, this is gonna cost us, I'm gonna throw a figure out, $800,000.
Steve,
And
only
they'll,
one question before then.
Yep.
1995,
99, 99.
that plan was there. Did they constructed the field according to that plan, or what is that plan?
They had the field on there, but the
Yeah.
parking was all different. Shows the tennis courts, it shows the basketball courts.
So they might have made renovations after the 1999 plan? That's what you are saying?
It isn't what we're looking for.
Okay. Anyway,
I think what he's saying is that the 1999 plan was supposed to be what was gonna go in, but during the course of putting that
it's all
design
changed.
into effect,
Yeah.
we made modifications on the fly, for lack of a
Not
better.
only that, but there's a ton of land up there that we're not using. The problem is that it juts out here and there, and it's not, you know, we can put stuff on it, but it's gotta be,
You need a new plan,
yeah.
which is what he's gonna do,
Yeah.
and you need to tell us what we missed originally.
Right,
So that's why we wanna maximize the usage of the land, so
I-
that's his main goal right now.
so I don't wanna sound like a broken record, but what I'm struggling to understand is, how are we determining what the maximization,
The engineer's gonna do that.
the engineer's gonna tell you what can be built,
This
but
sounds a lot like
the
the
engineer is not coming up with the ideas of what should be built to suit town needs.
We've
He's
already
just
given
taking
them
that
that.
input from us.
We've already given them that. It's a soccer field, it's a, tennis courts are there, there's parking, there's a basketball court, but what we want them to do is to modify the big field, big enough so that we can have, let's say for lacrosse. Right now, we don't have a lacrosse field.
Wait, lacrosse, so we were talking about what would be done with this field and what we were going to be investing in terms of making the most of the land that we have, right?
Correct.
No one ever mentioned lacrosse. In fact, it
Well,
seems to me, I think to Neil's point, maybe I'm
You
missing.
gotta understand that the field right now is being used by, soccer.
Yep.
It's a soccer field. It's always been a soccer field.
Right.
Other people have used it for different things, but most of the time it's used for soccer. If we can get soccer on there and give them a full-size soccer field, that means we don't have to allow them to use the football field to play their games on. So it's gonna be less wear and tear on the football field.
You're saying,
Also, if we wanna bring lacrosse back, they could play on that too.
so you're
Or
talking
they
about
could play on
the
football
high school
field.
teams? You're talking about the high school teams playing at that field? You say it's not playing,
High school soccer.
high school soccer
Yeah.
would be playing on
Yeah,
that
I'm talking high
wooden
school,
field?
yeah.
Okay,
Soccer, lacrosse went to Boylston,
okay,
because we couldn't supply them
Yep.
with the fields when they needed them, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with the town of West Boylston, they didn't like the schedule that we were allowed to give them based on our field
Mhm.
availability. So,
Who
what
plays
he's
lacrosse outside of, who plays lacrosse outside of
a lot
college?
of people play lacrosse now.
it's big for
You
kids.
get that many French people down here?
It's very big for kids now, but I guess what I'm struggling with here is that one of the things that we were talking to Parks Commission about earlier in the year, when we wanted to sort of get a feel for what would be going into, or what would be sort of, what this rendering would be representing in terms of what that field is gonna be used for, that space is gonna be used for, and it was, Jim Padone at the time was talking about things like deck hockey, and he was talking about, I think he mentioned tennis courts, he talked about pickleball courts, we talked about obviously needing soccer.
Deck hockey
Deck-
is still in there?
Right, it seems like so deck hockey's there,
But is it something that the town can use, or is it something we have room to put in there?
That's up to the town. All he's bringing you is the possibilities of what can be done with
what
this
could
land.
possibly be done with it.
And then he's gonna give you some probably outrageous numbers on what it's gonna cost to do these different articles. And then it's up to the town to decide what they wanna do. It's just a feasibility study, that's all it is.
We're also gonna try and get them to give us a irrigation system where we don't have to rely on town water.
Again, that's stuff that he can do, and it's gonna have a number on it. And then
Yeah.
it's up to you to do what you're
Well,
gonna do.
But the marching orders of give us a plan with a U17 soccer field have been provided to him.
Correct.
So
And he's gonna fit that onto a piece of property along with these
all
other
his
ideas.
feasible, all the designs that he's deeming feasible, subject to a price tag, right,
Granted.
are going to incorporate the marching orders that have been given him for what our priorities are.
Correct.
And I guess one of the issues I had, not to relitigate last April, but one of the issues I had was that there was no input from the community as to what those priorities are. There was no linking those priorities to the master plan, to articulated input from the various recreational groups that would be using the facilities, of
Surveys.
transparency as to
Right,
how they're
right.
weighing the different factors, like, cause I know, for
My
example.
understanding is that you guys had already done that as a Parks Commission.
We had that input, we have input from the soccer league. The gentleman that was there when you were up there, in the blue shirt, is lacrosse,
Yeah,
and those are the only people that showed up. Everybody was invited to come to that meeting.
well, understood. The input that I saw from soccer was, youth soccer doesn't use U17. We don't have a need for U17. And the other
Well,
input,
that's not the case all the time. If they had a U17 field, you might have some people willing to use it.
So I've actually covered that with the soccer people, because I wanted to know, I don't know a lot about U17 soccer. That's not a thing. If it's a high school sized field to be used for the high school games, that's one thing, but there is no U17 league. We can't build the field and presume that all of a
Would the
sudden
high
there'll be
school
this.
use it?
I don't know,
But
I
again,
know that-
you
but I know
guys
this-
are getting off on a tangent.
That's
The
what
whole
I'm
thing
saying.
is, this is what you can do with the
This has already been
land.
decided.
And he's done, pay me.
No, it's
no,
been
I get
decided
that
on.
point. I think our issue is, what I'm hearing is that the Parks Commission is gonna come, it's already gotten $125,000 from CPC, which we're supposed to determine that the $125,000 went to promote and further articulated goals that we find in a master plan, in community outreach, etc. And we didn't know at the time we voted to let the town consider the request for $125,000. We had no way of telling the town, as it considered that question, here are the priorities that are gonna be achieved by your $125,000 expenses. We didn't know because they hadn't been communicated, because they hadn't been sourced yet. And
See, I'm on the inside, I don't know what the actual public knows.
nobody knows. I mean, nobody knows. And what I heard at the meeting were people saying, let me just be clear on this point. We will be presented options and get to weigh in on them. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is the options are being dictated by saying, here's what we've given them for priorities, and based on those priorities, they've told us what's feasible, and we're gonna pick the most attractive one of those feasible possibilities.
It's not, and it's also important to keep in mind, as long as I understand what was written in the application correctly, there were a maximum, I think, of 3 renderings or 3 sort of options that they're going to be sending us. Is that still the case? So it's not as if they're gonna be 8 or 9 different options, and the town can say, okay, we didn't really have a lot of input into this.
Well, again,
Which they-
number
but-
one, what you need to know how much land is gonna be. What do we have for use? Then I need to know, do I have to remove it, can I use it, what's the compaction rate? I need to know a lot of stuff for engineering. Once I have that, you can do a multitude of things. I mean, a soccer field and a baseball field, same thing. If I'm gonna put in pickleball, I need a compaction rate, so I know whether it's gonna sink, not gonna sink. Same for a parking lot. So once I have my base numbers, it's no different than dropping a 90-degree perpendicular, I got 180 degrees, I can take off from there.
So, Bill, you
That's
have
not
me
good.
100% on board with your notion that we need to get the data. We need the
Right.
information.
We
the
need a
raw
base.
data.
We don't have a
Yeah,
base.
Right, I'm with you on that.
Okay. After
But
that,
we're-
you're on your
We're
own.
going one step further and saying, show me how we fit a U17 soccer field and this particular parking lot contour and this particular deck hockey contour onto that base. And that's where you lose me, because I haven't seen the public saying, that's exactly what we need.
How do
What-
you
what
want
he's
it-
doing is giving you-
How do the public is going to say?
Well, again, he's giving
We
you
need to have a
possibilities.
survey?
This is what you can do, and he's gonna take his different lands, and he's gonna do test pits, will tell me what the elevations are, of different strata that I need. So I need certain land that's gonna be underneath the parking lot, I need certain stuff that's gonna have drainage underneath a football field, soccer field, whatever you wanna call it. Pickleball, that type of stuff. And that's gonna be in different sections of this lot. And based on that, well, do you really want the old people walking all the way back there, cause that's the only place I can put pickleball? That's what this study's gonna show you. Then it's up to you to decide, well, what are we gonna do? This is where it can go, this is what it can do, this is how much parking we have, and what do you wanna do with the land?
But it seems like we've already decided that whatever the options that are available to us, they must incorporate certain components. Like U17 field, deck hockey.
I think you're getting hung up
You
on the
just said
field.
U17 field.
I'm using that as an example,
No,
it's
no,
not, right, and my
All I'm
point
gonna
is,
do, if I was the engineer in this, I would just give you, here's your possibilities.
sure,
Here's where it can go. Here are some numbers that you're gonna be looking at
yep.
for different stuff. And then it has to go back to the public. What do you wanna do?
I just wanna be sure we're not limiting our options based on what we're telling him to, if all he's doing is, if he's saying, look, you can, like I said at the meeting, you could put an indoor swimming pool here if you want, here's the parameter, you know, we obviously aren't looking for an indoor swimming pool.
Right.
So we don't need that information, thank you, but no thank you, right? But it sounds like what we're saying is, when you present different options to us, make sure each of the options presented incorporates a U17 field, certain other components to it. So those are basically locked in as they will be a part of what goes on in that park. And I'm not sure that's what the public has been asking for.
What are they asking for?
Well, I know, for example, the head of soccer, well, I don't know what Steve's title is at this point, but he's, I think, the chair of the board, right? If not, he's
runs
an
the soccer.
officer, has said, number one, don't kill one of our seasons by redoing the fields with grass.
You can't guarantee that. I mean, you're talking about a major construction project.
So that needs to be thought out,
Well, you're gonna get that answer. When he gives you back what's there,
but not if we're going out to bid on a project that's already been selected.
there's no
and-
way you can go out to bid. You don't know anything yet.
But that's what we're
No.
being told we're gonna be looking for money for.
They're not going out to bid, he's gonna give you estimates.
Alright, so let's just fast forward for a second, and
You're
what,
way ahead of
what,
yourself.
what comes back then? What are we going to be potentially asking the
He will
town
be
to
giving
consider?
the
I have no
renderings.
idea, you gotta wait for the engineer to come back and tell you what can go in there, what will fit.
He's gonna
That's
tell you
we-
what you can use this land for, and then it's up to you to decide what you're gonna use the land for.
So one perfect example I could say is, Goodale Park. They had a big study on that. They came up with the plan A, plan B. And the plan A, this much money, plan B, this much money. And then both the plans were
Yeah.
not worth it, or we don't have the money, they dropped it.
And
So-
that's why the
so
study,
Plan A and Plan B that were given to us initially for Goodale Park, just to keep beating this thing. Let's presume that they both plans mentioned basketball courts and tennis courts. Because there was something from the town, some kind of
Town
survey.
survey
that
was done,
Right.
it said, and
And
the
those two
number
things
one
were
response
incorporated
was
into the
basketball and
plan.
tennis.
This
We don't
is
have
the
that.
piece that wasn't done at all here, but again, maybe we are thinking ahead of ourselves, maybe this is a step that will happen at some point. It seems as though it certainly should have happened before, the monies were requested and the monies were allocated to this survey or this project. But we don't have that, we're already past that point. I'm just saying, Raj, when you're saying they gave us an A and a B, I would almost guarantee you that there was some kind of, something given to them by the town to say, by Parks Commission to say, whatever you give us has to have X number of tennis courts,
For the-
X number of
for Goodale
basketball
Park?
courts, yeah.
No,
They just,
there was
no?
nothing. All they did for Goodale Park was, they moved the football field up into the Pine Grove. They
Okay.
And
moved
also
the
the-
No, that's
track
what
away.
they did, but go ahead.
They moved the football field up into the Pine Grove. They were gonna do
Bleachers.
the track so that it was a full-size 6-lane track. They were gonna fix
Bleachers.
the baseball field for the high school so that the left field is the right distance, cause it's a short distance now. And it was just a revamp of what was there. They weren't adding anything new. It was just a revamp of everything that was there in different locations. And it came out to like $1.5 million, and the town said, no.
No, it's not
Because
very.
really, there's nothing wrong with what we got there now.
Few
And
million.
you're
Other
gonna
than
do,
we got a track that you can't use.
you're gonna do the same thing with Woodland, except you're gonna have some more information.
Yep.
We're talking about something, okay.
That's all it is. And maybe you could have done it a different way and got a little bit more information, but from an engineering point of view, first thing I have to do is figure out what I can do with the land.
Right?
I have
How
no
much I
quarrel
have.
with doing the investigation for the
Now, as
feasibility.
far as any more money, I gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give any more money until I know where we're going.
What
And
are you
also,
doing
we don't know how much
and
money it's.
What are you
going to
trying to
cost.
do and why are you trying to do it?
Exactly.
And I think we need that information well
Why are
before,
we trying to do it?
yeah.
You know why are we trying
I
to do it?
don't.
Because the field is a piece of,
I think you would find the soccer people who are on that field all the time have strongly disagreed. I feel like it's not the best
you
looking
talk to
park in the world.
everybody in town, you're gonna get a different opinion.
But
We
I
have
only
to
care
close
about
the
the,
field-
I,
we have
listen,
to close the
I
field
only
because
care
it's
about,
too
I only
wet
care about the people who are
all
actually
the
using it
time.
as opposed to anybody else in town.
So what I've heard from soccer is that there has never been a canceled soccer game at Woodland where games at Goodale and surrounding fields weren't similarly canceled. That it's not a unique problem to Woodland.
It is a unique.
I
It's
know
not.
Woodland
It's
has
a
a
worse
drainage problem,
It's
but
a
I'm,
worse problem.
it may be a worse problem. The drainage may be worse, but what I'm telling you is the practical implication
You know,
of that problem.
listen, we've got the 125. We're gonna come back with another proposal. And it's gonna be based on what the people have said they want there, and what they want is soccer, they want the tennis court, they want pickleball, whatever else they wanna put in there. And it's up to the engineer to decide whether it's all gonna fit. And if it isn't all gonna fit,
Then you
then we're gonna go
prioritize,
back to the drawing boards and get rid of something.
which
But
means
the
they gotta
bottom
come
line
back.
is that it's a soccer field, and that's what we need it for. If we have to leave that field for baseball, then soccer's not gonna play in West Boylston anymore.
What I will say is, if Parks Commission is intending to come before this committee with an application for more funds for a Woodland Park renovation project, that Parks give some thought to the eligibility requirements that are built into the community preservation plan for an application for Parks purposes, and give some thought to the fact.
That's where you lose me.
I mean,
This is the way things will go. We have an application process that we will adhere to, and we will ensure that anyone applying for funds through this committee will be adhering to those application processes, or
Then Woodland will stay as it is.
But at least you know what you've got. We paid to find out what we
Yeah,
have.
that's helpful. That's-
So
yeah.
we're gonna get that, and I can use that for the next 10 years. So it's not like I wasted the money.
No,
And
it's there, it's
once you
done.
figure out what you can do,
Prices
now
are
you gotta
going
put it out to
That's,
the
you know,
public
I
to
heard
figure
that
what they
before,
want.
we're not gonna push things ahead because prices may go up. Prices are gonna go up, they're gonna go up, and it's life. But we're not gonna push something through, which is exactly what happened in March.
A lot of
We
towns
rushed the
don't
vote through
think that way.
because we were told that prices are gonna go up, gotta do this now. Rush this through, we've not done any surveys, we didn't try to go out and get any grant funding for this project. Push it through because prices are going up, it's not gonna happen this
Well,
time.
that's the other thing, you
It's
can't
not
get
gonna happen
grants
this time.
unless this is done. Now that
That's
you have
exactly
this
right.
done, now you can go get grants. Cause you're now
So now
eligible.
this is the list, I think we're all, I think your last point was incredibly valid. It's, once this is done, it's done, and we know what we can do with the land.
Correct.
That gives us an opportunity to, if we don't like whatever comes back in these 2 to 3 renderings that will be given, the town has an opportunity to weigh in, and prices may go up, but at the end of the day, we will be funding something that actually works for this town, as opposed to something that works for something that, well, we might need a U-17 field, and we might need pickleball, we might need deck hockey, but nobody actually did the research before March to find out. I think that this study is going to give us all the information we need to know how big the space is, what we can do with it, and from there, we can give the town an opportunity to weigh in a meaningful way into what we actually devote these funds to.
And when I voted,
And I don't-
this is where I wanted to be. I wanted to have solid information on what I can and can't do,
I think it's
which is what you've
And,
delivered.
and also, how much money, that's one other thing, right?
Well, yeah,
Money's
I mean,
always-
it's a guess, it's always a guess. But I mean, it's certainly not gonna be more than 10%,
You know-
and 10% is not that big a deal, it really is.
Once again, we're gonna be hit with the urgency. And that card is, it can't be played anymore. And,
So if it's
you know,
can't be played,
Steve,
it won't be played.
and
At the mercy of the CPC committee.
We're good. We'll work
that's-
together, get you an application process.
We want to be, personally, I can't speak for everybody here, but I want to be an ally of parks
oh, yeah.
to see us do great things for the parks in town. I have 2 kids that play in those parks every week. I want to be able to coach their games on the best facility that we can afford for the town. I want all of that. But I also want to make sure it gets done the right way. I don't want to be held
It's
hostage.
gonna be done the right way.
Well, but so Steve, what my issue is that we have criteria we're supposed to follow. That criteria specifically asks the applicant to look to the master plan, the open space survey results to inform the argument
So,
that this plan, this application will accomplish the objectives that this town has agreed are priorities.
do we have the open space?
Survey results?
Yeah. What does it
Yes,
say?
we
We
do,
have it,
we
yeah.
do, we have a new plan.
What does it say?
Well, if you're the applicant, you should know.
Again, it's really,
I'm just asking, what does it say?
basically soccer is what they want.
Oh, okay,
Soccer's the deal.
So you're,
that's my case.
Well,
What- you-
you're talking
soccer-
about deck hockey and pickleball.
Those are
Soccer is
just
a-
ideas.
Yeah.
Right now,
Pickleball is
we,
part of tennis.
this board has not made a mistake right now. You did exactly what you should have done. We now know what we've got.
Right, and I think that Parks has heard from us now a few times that when they come back with an application that they hope is considered for approval by this committee, that application will be completed in line with what we have established as the criteria for every application moving forward, and that's something that's gonna be made available on the town site, if it's not already,
It is.
for everyone to see and everyone to review, and so that the next time we are faced with an opportunity to vote yes or no, we all feel good about having had a chance to review the application offline, ask the applicant questions offline, and we know that what we've received is something that adheres to the criteria that we've asked for as a standardized process, which is what's going to happen moving forward.
would it behoove us to set a date, a deadline?
No, what I would do is invite Parks to reach out with whatever information they have at their disposal now. And
Nothing.
They get nothing until the engineer comes back.
so then, as soon as we have information to discuss, schedule a meeting to discuss, not necessarily discuss an application, but to discuss how the application would be presented so that we can work in tandem rather than at loggerheads.
I think you need to put a deadline.
We
And-
have one, Pat. It's,
No, no,
we're past it.
you know, Steve can talk to the consultant and say, we're having a meeting on September 1. The community preservation expects the numbers.
It's not gonna happen.
No.
Not gonna
No, I need more time. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's a reasonable time? Because once again, we're in the
May
crunch.
town meeting.
If I was the
May
engineer,
town meeting.
I'd bet you I would have to talk to them at least, because how many people are in your committee?
Five, well, four.
Well, that's reasonable. Usually you deal with 20. I'd need at least 4 to 5 meetings with them just to
So
stabilize what I
so
think
it's
they
not
wanna
gonna be
do.
October town
No,
meeting.
it's
I
not
don't
after
see
the
it.
town meeting.
I
Okay,
don't see it.
then I'll agree with, this is great. Then we're on track.
Yeah.
With a reasonable plan. We'd love to have everything going for next year. It's just not gonna happen. So
But that doesn't mean you can't exchange ideas and
Right.
figure out where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm reassured because I was concerned that we're gonna have another,
You
because
can't
the
do it.
prices are going up
Yeah,
and we need to get the things going. and
well, I
the-
thought I heard him say October.
Prices are really going up.
Oh, I know. No, Steve, you're all doing great work and it's wonderful. But this committee has to do things appropriately.
Well, for Steve and I, they have a legal phrase, time is of the essence.
And expensive.
Faster you can move, the cheaper it's gonna be,
So,
Yeah.
particularly if you're going over the winter. But if it's gonna be the
It's
town
where-
in May.
it's where we
May
are.
I think there are
town meeting,
competing,
We're gonna be, the companies
interest
have already
of,
got their bids lined
yes, we
up.
wanna do it lowest cost, but we wanna make, measure
Right.
twice.
And
at
somewhere in
once.
the middle, we'll make a deal.
So what, was upstairs, what is the feeling? Are they thinking October town meeting?
That's what we talked about tonight, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
yeah.
And,
Well, let's see the paperwork.
let's.
So why we have to make it today, let's wait for that.
Well, I think
Then
this
we
was a
can-
good discussion for purposes of engaging in dialogue
Yeah, he-
with.
Because you can see what our
He
problem
got
is.
all the ideas.
And you know what the
he got
other
all
problem
input.
is, yeah, our problem, right?
Steve, take it to your Parks Commission,
Yeah, well,
What we have
we
said.
can't do anything, it's the engineer that's.
The engineer's fault.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And you're gonna go back and forth with him, I guarantee you, 4 or 5 times.
yeah, they have nothing in hand
He's
now.
gonna come in and we're gonna look at it, we're gonna say, oh, no, yeah, no.
Well, we all agree that we want mixed woodland to be a workable,
What is the word?
marvelous park for the
Very
young
optimistic.
people in our community. And the old people can play pickleball. But,
There's a lot of young people
Young
playing
people
pickleball.
playing pickleball.
oh, a lot of pickleball, and so,
Actually, we talked about the pickleball tonight, the big problem with pickleball is the noise.
it's
let's-
terrible.
Why don't we ban it?
The balls, but you can buy
They're
it.
having problems
I thought the
all
chickens
over
was
with
bad.
it. They're closing courts.
Playing pickleball. Everybody out there on porches and
It's so annoying.
What is the no, oh, because of the ball?
Ball, yeah, it's a, it's a.
It makes a different
No,
sound
it
than a
is
tennis
nice.
ball.
But
It is
someone's
nice.
making a cover you put on the racket that
Well, how about
softens.
bocce? We'll get rid of the paddles.
Now you're-
Okay,
We talked about bocce.
so,
We said we have one
Goodell
of
Park,
those.
Goodell Park, and there are, both the tennis courts are full. They do.
Oh, yeah, no.
They do like
I
it.
see it, they're always full.
Yeah.
All right, I think I know, and Steve, please, I have the utmost respect for the work you guys are doing, and I know you're understaffed right now while you're doing it, and you guys care, and no one's doubting that. So please,
We're doing what we can do with the parks. But there's a lot of things, projects that we like to do, and this is the next one we picked.
I think, again, for myself and from what I've heard from other members of this committee, I think this committee stands behind you guys in
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
do something at Woodland. I think it's just some cooperation between the two boards, I think would go a long way to help streamlining that process. If time is of the essence,
We'd be happy to, as long as we can get the thing done, and we'll do whatever needs to be done.
so I would encourage, let's keep the lines of dialogue open, let's, any updates, as soon as we have the updates, share them, so that we can keep up to pace with the developments that you guys are seeing. And that way, we're more informed when we next meet.
I'm a firm believer you should get on a calendar and you should have a date, because people have to be able to plan. You can always cancel a meeting, but you
To
can't.
address your let's go, let's route, rather than just beat ourselves to death here. When the engineer comes back
Yeah.
with his policy, we'll make the date at that time.
Yeah.
How's that?
Okay,
We won't know until.
So you'll let us know when the engineer comes back?
You need to talk to Jim. I'll talk to him too, but
Okay.
well, ask Jim what he thinks is a reasonable time to set them,
October, he'll tell you.
right before town
October
meeting.
is at the town
That
meeting.
doesn't, no, no, no.
You want the money for October and you are asking for money? Steve, what's going on?
It's not gonna work that way, so we'll figure out, once we get the information back from the engineer, we'll have a conversation with Parks about setting up a meeting, and we'll see if there's any chance, at all about getting, something done for October first town meeting, but,
I've
it's
been doing
looking
this for
highly
60
unlikely.
years, that he's not giving me enough time.
So then it's
No.
not, I'm just
Yeah.
playing along, it may be, we're not shooting it down, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That
Oh, no,
might be-
no, I mean-
Maybe we get information back, if not.
If the only thing you can do is a soccer field, okay, great, that makes it easy.
All right, well, unless there's anything else anyone wants to add on this topic, I'm ready to move on,
Yep.
just to try to get us out of here. I'm going to, unless anyone objects, skip over the general discussion
yes.
that's listed as number 12. That's going to be, well, I no longer have the say on this, but I would recommend, Tim, that remain an evergreen
Yes.
agenda topic, so that when time permits, we can contribute to that improvement process.
Did you
Yeah.
get my email on the bill for the association?
Oh, the community preservation?
Yeah,
When did you send it? I've
quite a
been,
while ago.
yeah.
So they sent the bill to me.
They sent it to you? Why didn't you pay it?
$1,750, I believe.
All right, so we need to,
It's the dues for the year.
when is the due date for those dues? Okay, so, I would make a note, next meeting, put it on the agenda.
Are you, Leslie, who's talking to Leslie about money?
About money for
Checking up on something.
Did you?
I'm following up on the historical markers.
Okay,
The
well,
money,
Leslie will know when the bill is due.
right, but we need to authorize paying it out of
Well,
CPC
we-
funds.
We have
Right.
the
Already been paid.
It's been paid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that the project.
He wanted to know how much money was left, I believe, right?
Yeah, I didn't know whether there was anything left, and
No.
Leslie can tell you that.
I'm sorry, what I think what Pat's saying is, do we need to vote to authorize Leslie to pay the dues for the Community Preservation
The
Coalition.
work's all been done, so it's,
The dues for the coalition,
yeah, we need to,
We vote to approve
it's a
that.
formality.
right, and do we need
It's
that
not on
approved?
the agenda, so you can't do it.
I can't do it now, do we need it for town meeting?
No,
Cause that's just a administrative expense, right?
yeah, we need to pay it as soon as we can.
So we need to authorize someone on behalf of CPC to go tell,
When is your next meeting?
we don't have it scheduled yet.
That's my point.
Mother?
God sakes, and we
You know
have
what, you,
organizations.
I nominate,
Yeah,
wanna go back to the vote for chair and nominate Pat.
Get out of town. But
Okay, so what other business would, so we're gonna skip 12. 13, is there any other business to discuss tonight? No. Going once,
yes,
going twice.
you've got authorized signatures. That was in your box.
Okay.
I feel like
I'm gonna sign that.
I'm nagging.
No, I love it. I need it. As is very clear, Pat, I need to be nagged.
Did we vote to have the chair pay bills?
No, it's,
And there's usually a
anyone
second.
can be an authorized.
But they have to
Person to
sign
signing
that,
the-
they gotta see his signature, that's the whole.
We do need to make a motion on this.
No, but what we did with the Parks Commission, that Jim is authorized to pay any bill under $500 with one signature. You have to give Leslie a copy of the vote.
It's the same thing also.
Right. So unless we are going to authorize only one person or a certain majority to sign,
No.
any one of the members of the committee can sign.
Yeah.
And so what she needs is
All the
a
signatures.
specimen signature from everyone on this
That's not
committee.
gonna do it, though. You have to take a separate vote.
Right, it's gotta be in the
That's
minutes.
just a copy of your signature.
I understand, but I'm pretty sure
We
you
need to
don't
make
need a
one.
vote.
No, we
I
don't
think
need.
you only need a vote to deviate from the standing rule. Oh, so that all members, I'm sorry,
We need to
You're
have a
right.
vote on this.
that to authorize one person, because otherwise
Not
everyone
anyone-
needs to sign.
Any one person can be the, signing of
Yes.
that.
Chairman.
But upon a vote, yes, okay,
Chairman of the, sometimes they do the co-chairman.
okay. So,
Since it is not on the agenda, maybe, whoever is signing, let them continue to sign.
right,
Who is signing
I'm
the bill
currently
now?
authorized to sign, you're
Then
authorized
keep
to
signing
sign, right? Yeah,
Then keep signing
Just
it.
keep doing that, the
Okay.
chairman.
Next
co-chair.
meeting, you can put it
Okay.
on the agenda.
It's not based on the individual, it's based on
the
the,
position,
yeah.
okay. So the position that has been authorized is chair and vice chair, and you're vice chair, you've been appointed chair, so why don't you put your name and signature on here so that Leslie has that?
When you were out of town, we voted Tim. Oh, look what's in the mailbox. The dues.
There you go.
Okay,
It's funny what you find in that mailbox.
so, with no other business to discuss tonight, the last item is scheduled next meeting and adjourn. So, we have to, at least as a formality, approve paying the dues. Hopefully by the time we schedule a next meeting, we'll know who our additional members are and we can then notify the town. Unless there's anything else on the horizon, parks accepted, I think it would be a relatively short meeting. So the question is, do we wanna wait till we have the engineer information back?
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Or do we wanna meet in the interim to authorize payment of the dues and the other housekeeping matters?
When do we get the bill? How old is that bill now?
They don't care.
They don't care? Oh,
I mean, they'll send us another one.
It's July first.
oh, all right.
So-
I like to pay everything in 30 days.
What I can do is I'll notify Stuart or whomever that, hey, I goofed, it didn't get on the agenda, we'll get it on the next
That
one.
comes out of our
Administrative fund, so we don't need to go to the town.
Has he got a tentative date when
I'll
he's,
sign that, I think.
Steve, has he got a tentative date when he's coming back with the proposal?
No,
Doesn't.
he didn't say.
But he is starting next
I
week?
think he wants to get the surveyors in there and
Why don't we schedule a meeting for Tuesday, September 9th?
You could do it, you can always
We
cancel
can
it.
always cancel it.
And we can always cancel it.
Just make
All
sure.
Is
right.
Tuesday good for you?
I have to check.
She's the most important.
That's right.
Yeah. Here's mine.
I just
You're good, 'cause
believe
if
we
I
should
don't have any
put on
meetings, you
people's
don't have any work.
calendars.
We have a
And
meeting on
Tim, in
Monday.
case you haven't figured out
That's
by
right, we
now,
do, Monday, yeah.
there's a mailbox for the committee that needs to be checked lest you incur the
sounds
wrath
like it.
of
It sounds
one
like
Patricia Halpin.
There we-
Tuesday the 9th, 6 o'clock.
Sorry,
We all have to sign this,
we do?
yeah,
I don't wanna.
but we need another sheet, because there's not enough on it.
Yeah, I could do that.
That would work for me.
Why do we
as
need
well.
another sheet?
That works for me.
Okay,
Because there's only so many spots there.
Oh,
You have
so
enough
Tim,
for
what I will
everybody here?
do is,
Two,
Yeah, as long as 6 people.
Um,
6 of us. We got
every,
6.
everybody has to sign it?
Everybody on the board is supposed to sign it.
I'll send in an agenda for the next meeting.
There are 6 or
Copying
7
you
of us.
and
No, just
informing,
sign it. Print
Jen,
your
the
name
new
first and then-
interim town clerk,
Okay.
to update you as chair. And you can see how I send the email, the content of the agenda, you could just duplicate that form, I just use the same form and just make sure you don't forget to
Yeah.
change the date and all that other stuff.
Sure.
But I'll send you a couple of other ones that I've used, because some I've used where you have a placeholder for Zoom, and then you just gotta copy, who else? I'm blanking now. Clerk and, I'm forgetting who else,
You send it to Faye?
I guess to Faye,
Yeah.
and then notify that you wanna use the Zoom feature,
Okay.
and you gotta
Faye is
reserve the, select board meeting room rather than this room, and then you leave a placeholder for them to put the Zoom link in. And they'll put the Zoom link before they post it. I'll walk you through.
All right.
It's
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
You
So
wanna get it-
is 6,
Yes.
is 6:30 easier for you, Tim?
6 is ordinarily fine. I slipped my mind tonight with my wife being out and
I didn't
uh,
send out a reminder, and
trying
I was
to
on,
know.
I was on vacation, my
Well,
apologies.
6 is fine, whatever, if that works.
You're
for
on
us.
vacation, you've sounded your brain.
Zoom or a hybrid?
It's just a regular, in-person meetings.
So we're talking
In
September
person.
9th,
Yep.
6 o'clock.
Is it a,
It's right, 6.
next one
I
is
think
a
he
Zoom?
wants to make it available for
We
the
have,
meetings.
what's people's preference? I mean,
In terms of allowing for virtual participation?
of requesting the virtual participation as an option for folks.
I like,
Hybrid,
Yeah.
be both.
I like that. I like it gives an opportunity to people like Jason Tebow or.
Having been on the hybrid, trying to take minutes in Florida, it's a cavernous place. The select board, the acoustics are terrible, that room.
There is an echo in there,
It
which I.
really
I don't
doesn't
like.
make for full participation. I found it,
Yeah,
this room, I was talking to Heather about it, this should be,
Toby,
to be Zoom,
can you put it down accountant mailbox?
because this is more conducive to discussion. And
Town
all they need
accountant.
is a TV and a Zoom capability.
No,
No,
we don't need it,
that's
because
okay, so
the
that.
chair and the vice chair is
So if
going to
you
be, keep signing it,
Say something to Faye
Until
too,
the
when you
next
go
meeting.
up there, you know,
or,
that
I don't care.
But
they're
after that.
thinking about
the
doing
person is
something
gonna
here.
be able-
No, we'll just do the.
And you would prefer to have this
Then
room,
it may,
Zoom available. Oh, here's a TV.
they may need the minutes for that.
Well, they will, and I'll give them to them next time. For right now, they
No,
get the
so,
6.
so what they're talking about for the
This is the
attaching the
nicest
minutes
room.
is the vote to authorize a particular position on the committee to sign unilaterally, like that.
Right.
There's a standing vote for that, appointing the chair or co-chair to sign. So they should have that on file already. If they need a new one, we'll do it at the next meeting, which
Well,
is,
it should be in the minutes somewhere of the meeting.
right,
If not, we'll put it in next meeting.
right, so September 9th is the next meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
So, what time?
6
8:40.
PM. 6 PM, wait, what time's the meeting?
Yeah.
6 PM.
And we're adjourning at 8:40.
Well, hold on, we gotta all vote to adjourn. All in favor of adjourning? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Make that 8:41.